Now is the time for businesses to embrace the era of digital transformation to strengthen collaboration and productivity in a hybrid environment. Don't miss the upcoming digital transformation tools unveiling on the best collaboration tools to engage and unite team members, no matter where they are.
Welcome everyone to our session today. My name is Jennifer Weaver and I am the channel manager for the enterprise line here at Smart Technologies. And our session is technology in essential services. And so I am so excited to bring and speak with Chief Stiltz out of Texas. So Chief, if you could introduce yourself and tell us about your station.
Yes, ma'am. I am the operations fire chief for the city of Princeton. We're a growing suburb of McKinney, just north of Dallas. We're in the fastest growing county in the U.S. for the past 19 years. We're exploding with growth, and we're just trying to update our technology. And so that's why we reached out to Smart Tech.
So you reached out to us because you had some pain points. And I remember doing the demo for you and how excited your firemen were about the technology coming in. So tell me a little bit about some of those pain points that you had and what you were hoping the technology was going to be able to solve for you.
Yeah, the pain points, I mean, we're typical of the fire service. We have a projector hanging from the ceiling. Every time we needed to present a class or have a guest instructor come in, it always seems like we were trying to find the right wire. Did they have an adapter? And it turned out to be an ordeal every time we wanted to do a class with some type of technology involved. Was our networking going to work with their computer? I wanted to streamline that, especially in our new fire station we're building with a new classroom. Just wanted to make sure that the ease and everything was going to be in use. And also, we demoed the smart board, and my guys liked it, or actually they loved it, for the simple fact, if they can run their smartphone, they can run the Smart Tech board. The graphics were great, the ease of use, they were able to share their screens off of their phones. The interaction and the engagement was truly there. And I've got guys that are some older guys like myself that aren't technology savvy, and they seemed like they're the ones that were most excited about it because they understood it and they could work it.
So you used a keyword for me was ease of use. So, you guys put your life on the line every day, which we all greatly appreciate that. So you're not working in a field that is technology based. So you were able to see that your firemen had no problem working with the displays, picking up the pens, anything like that?
Oh, no. I mean, I had them not necessarily fighting over the pins, but everybody wanted their turn. They wanted to have their opinion heard. And the endless whiteboard was great because if they had a different way to go at the problem, being strategies or tactics, they could write theirs on. And then the next guy come up, well, what would you do different? Well, let's do it this way. And they swap the board and they continue. I like be able to have 3 shifts of firemen, and everybody has a different way of skinning the cat. Well, this way I could snapshot what the shift before did and show them, hey, this is kind of what A shift did. Same way with B shift and C shift. And it was all there. I could pull it up at a drop of a hat, and then everybody, hey, I like that idea, or no, I think this would be better. But I mean, they were able to engage. And that's something that I'm looking for as an administrator. I don't want technology that I'm not going to use, or the guys refuse to use it because it's difficult. The ease of use was there, and the engagement that got excited about it. And honestly, they're wanting to know if we're going to get one at our current station.
So it sounds like going from the different shifts that you have, you were able to cross over information. How easy, or let me restate that, how difficult was that before for you to be able to say, hey, shift A would do it this way, shift B, what do you think? Was that difficult to do?
It is, because when so many ideas sometimes are thrown out there and we only have one whiteboard, we have to erase it, and the next person comes up and gives his opinion or gives his presentation a way he would do it different. This way, that endless whiteboard was great because I could just swipe through to the 2 days before and go, hey, this is real similar to what the captain on A shift wanted to do. And it was there, or I had screenshotted it and I could pull it up. And one thing with the PowerPoints, with the electronic pens, being able to draw over maps and stuff like that, snapshot it, and then I can show the other shifts. Here's a problem we figured out. Here's a hazard we didn't see. Somebody picked up on this. It was just, like I said, they were able to engage. Just the 3 days we had it and demoing it,
Right.
they kept playing with it.
That's awesome. So let me ask you a question. And you do have some downtime, right? So
Yes.
we knock on wood, we pray that there's not a fire all the time, 24 hours a day. So you guys do have some downtime. So if it's that downtime and you're not doing any type of training, with the display, are your firemen using the display in any other way?
Oh yeah, when they're doing their self-assigned, whether it be continuing education or college classes, or even at nighttime, they're using it as a big screen. You know, they've had video games hooked up to it, which I don't mind, as long as they have all their duties accomplished for the day. We don't care what they use. But like I said, I couldn't keep the guys out of the classroom. And that's never normal the case for us. Usually I'm having to drag them in. Oh Lord, we're going to do training again, because my guys are hands-on. They don't like to watch things. They want to be able to go out and do this. But during inclement weather, whether it be cold or super hot, we can at least go in there and get them engaged, whether it's the classroom portion, and then we go out into the field and put hands on. So I like the ease of that.
Yes. That's great to hear, because it's a 4K display, right? So we've got those inputs that you can connect. And if the guys are playing video games on it, are they playing like regular video games, or are we playing educational fire safety games?
Well, both. I mean, we have a driving simulator. I mean, you saw the snapshot. I snapshot to you the day we first had it, but it'd be a driving simulator. It could be a hazardous material simulator. Specialized rescue like ropes or swift water, stuff like that. They were using that because the graphics were so good. Normally they have them on their laptop or our training laptop. And we have a kind of give a spot out to another called digital combustion. We can take any picture, any Google picture, and we can set it on fire. We can blow it up, and we can rehash different target hazards in our area. And the graphics was great on that. You could see a little bit of smoke. And if they don't do the right strategies, it just continues to get bigger and bigger. Or if it's a hazardous material incident, I mean, it's a truly good program for us, and it allows us to visualize and train these things without putting ourselves in harm or harmful to the environment with smoke and stuff like that. They get to see it firsthand.
That's great, because that's one thing that we do want to let fire and police know, that we are here to help try and make you as a fireman safe, the communities that you're working in safer, and really get those firemen engaged and wanting to work with the display and enjoy training. Like you said, training, we're all learners, and training is training. Not all of us like to enjoy doing training, but if it's engaging, then it makes it a lot better.
It does. And right now with the pandemic and everything, hopefully we're winding down from that. But there's a lot of computer-based training now to continuing hands-on, where it's almost like a video game, where we can do actually medical procedures online. Same way with our incident command scenarios we can do online. That's become more of the forefront now, because we don't get that patient interaction we used to have to be required to. It's online training now. And so we're seeing, kind of the parameters shift from more hands-on to more of a computer-based. And like I said, it was just difficult with a current setup we had with the projector and making sure everybody's laptop or tablet, if it would even hook up to it.
Right.
So now we're moved into the 21st century, hopefully.
That's great to hear, right? That's great to hear. So you mentioned you're in the process of building a new station. So I know that you have not purchased the display just yet, that you have gone out and demo it, but that's going to be part of the new station. So is it only for firemen, or are you going to have a space in there that's going to be available for the community?
No, it'll be a community classroom. It will be mounted in our fire station number 3 that's currently will be finished in June. Here in the next 3 weeks, I'll be ordering the smart tech board just because I had to wait for the deliveries. But it will be mounted in there. Also, we have under construction our city hall facility, which will house police, fire, all the admin for the city. We're also putting one in our emergency operations center, which will be on the police department side, and they'll be able to use their smart tech board for their daily briefings. If they have to serve a warrant and they need to throw a map up, their SWAT team will be able to use it, as well as their even if they're going to do a regular patrol assignment, they can put up the Google map. They'll be able to use it. We had them come over and demo the board with us as well. They're kind of excited about it because they're kind of in the same shape we're in now. They're using a projector hanging from the screen, and it's not very friendly for them. So we're going to have one in our emergency operations center. Now my fire chief wants to put one in our fire department admin, so that way our fire marshal can use it for building reviews, as well as for some of their investigations and stuff like that. So just the 3 days we got to demo it, we have broadened our horizon, and between police, fire, our fire marshal's office, even our EMS service, they did a continuing education on it, and they can't wait to use it as well. So it was the easy selling point for us. The price was right, the technology was great, and it was just easy to use.
And we always like to hear that, right? Yes, price was right, which is awesome to hear, but it's that ease of use, which is really great, and which really warms my heart to hear you say that. So just an additional question. So as your guys are out there and they're on scene, do you guys do like a post call or post follow up that you're utilizing the display, or right now is everything the plan to do pre training?
No, we have, after large incidents, anywhere from a house fire or a specialized rescue, we have a after accident report that we do, and it's a formalized debriefing. Everybody gets their input, what they saw when they first got there, how things were handled, if they think we can handle things better. It's a critique. It's an after action critique. Our training department, they put that on, and sometimes we have other agencies come in. If it's a larger event and we've had mutual aid companies come into our area, they're involved as well. So it could be police, fire, it can be our public works, like we did Winter Storm Uri. We just put together an after action. That was a whole week-long incident for us. So it's that type of stuff that we get to use it. So it's not just going to be us. It'll also be police. And if we have to do a larger after action critique, there will be other agencies as well as departments involved. So that's why I think the technology is so important. Everybody can have their input. So if Public Works comes with their input, they can share a screen from their laptop. We don't have to worry about unplugging computers or somebody downloading anything to a hard drive. They can share the screen with the app just that quick.
So now, speaking of sharing, did you find that pretty easy? And did your firemen find that pretty easy to be able to take their phone, their iPhone, their Android, whatever team your firemen on, and be able to share their device?
Absolutely. Yeah, that was, I mean, when the local salesman, Jordan, when he come out and brought us, he literally gave us a 5-minute in service because he had to leave, showed us where to download the Teams app. And as soon as my guys were sharing it, they were clicking the QR code on the screen, and next thing you know, everybody's throwing up videos, and I couldn't keep track of who was doing what. And I finally just had to tell them, okay, quit. I know everybody has a different YouTube video they want to show because it's a different way to skin that cat, but hold on. Everybody wanted, because I mean, I could have up to 6 screens connected.
Yes.
And that was the thing about it. It was so much ease. I briefly touched on our emergency operations center. The interoperability of these boards was a big selling point for us. If our emergency operations center is kind of the heartbeat of an incident if it's a large incident. So when we put the smart tech board in our EOC, and God forbid the generator goes down, something like that, which happened during Winter Storm Uri for us, we can just unplug that OPS operating system, go over to station 3, plug it into that board, and our backup EOC is up and running in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Versus trying to pack up a bunch of laptops or move radios. The interoperability is there. And that's very, very key for us and our job of not losing the minutes or hours because we have a problem.
And, and that's awesome that you say that, because I personally haven't even thought about that, which, the displays you can purchase that display where it has that OPS PC that slides in the back. And you are right. It is very easy to unscrew that and take that out. And if you have multiple displays around different facilities, as you said, if something happens in one, we can just quickly get over to another one, and all of those files get it on the network. You're up and running and ready to go. That's an awesome point that I haven't even really thought about. Chief Stiltz, I'm gonna have to use that in my pitches now when I speak to different departments.
We're real big about interoperability. Since 9/11, that's been kind of one of the government's focus, where nobody talked to everybody. Well, in the 20 years since then, we've all tried to become more user-friendly, where we all can talk to each other. Our radios, I can talk to police, I can talk to the federal government, I can talk to our state agencies if I need to. We all have interoperability channels. This allows us to have the technology interoperability channels, because we have certain programs that we all run on a state level and even on a federal level. I like to be able just to unplug the cartridge and go plug it in a new one and have my wireless keyboard, and I'm up and running again.
Yeah.
I have no downtime.
Right.
So interoperability is very, very big in our industry, the public safety side of it.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great to hear. And that's a thing that, like I said, I didn't even think about, and I'm going to have to start using that now. So I know that you demoed the display. Now, when the display was over, did you guys mount the display, or did you have it mobile?
No, it was mobile because that's how the demo was going to go to the school district that it was being taken to. I really liked the mobile because it had the electronic elevation and the ease was there. Ours is going to be permanently mounted. Ours will be permanently mounted in our station as well as our EOC. But that electronic carriage that came with the one for demo, like I said, I had guys pulling it out of the classroom, taking it over to the living room. I just told them they can't take it outside because that's all I need is a certain burst, and I'll end up purchasing another one. But no, it was great. And like I said, they rolled it between the classroom, across our apparatus floor, into the day room several times, because I was like, please don't tear that thing up or don't drop it.
Yeah.
But
no,
it was nice, and I like the ease of functionality, because I really considered about getting a carriage and not mounting it. But like I said, this will be a community use board. Right. So that way, if I have a Boy Scout troop, if they're going to do, whether they're doing a presentation, Girl Scouts, we've already found out our homeowners association for that neighborhood, they already want to know when they can start scheduling the community room, and we haven't even opened it yet. So I'm sure they'll use it. So we've had different HOAs already contact us and want to know when they can schedule the community room. So like I said, it'll be used throughout our city at this one fire station.
That's amazing to hear. And that's great that you guys have the ability to have this community space that's open for your community to be able to use it. And I think that's powerful, right? Not just from a technology standpoint, but being able to have the community be in a space with you as the fireman, being able to see you, hear you, talk to you if you're there. I have a fire station that's right around the corner from my house. I see the firemen, when they're going to Publix, to the grocery store, and I, happen to be, and then they pull up with the truck. It always makes me nervous when I see the truck because I don't know what's going on, but they're usually in there getting something to eat. But that's a great way to, get the community involved, because as I said, you guys put your lives on the line every day, to ensure that we as a community, are safe and know how to deal with things that are happening in our homes, and teaching our kids about, fire safety. So the ability that you have this space that's open to the community, I think is pretty awesome to be able to do that.
Well, and that's one thing that was a larger fire department that I retired from before I came here to Princeton. We had community classrooms in predominantly all of the firehouses. So we're used to having that community interaction. I mean, that's a public building, even though it's a firehouse, it's bought with taxpayers' dollars. They're welcome here anytime. This is their equipment. The truck behind me, they paid for it. It's not mine. It's not the Princeton Fire Department. It's to the citizens of Princeton. And I think it's being able so we can educate, because fire prevention is a real big part of our job as well as accident prevention. And if we can use this technology to help get that message across, I mean, it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, it is. And Chief, when you and I met and I was able to do the demo for you, I probably told you I try to know a little bit about a lot of things. But I have a passion for that, working with the fire departments and working with the police departments, because again, I feel your jobs are so important. And it's great to hear that you have things available to you within the federal government, because the federal government, different areas of the federal government, some of those three special letter ones are customers of smart technology. So they do have displays across the country in different areas. So I think the power of being able to work with them and knowing that they have a display also is going to be great. And you mentioned one thing that I did want to ask. You said that the guys, you were able to scan the QR code. So were you utilizing the Teamworks whiteboarding software that the QR code was there, kind of that whiteboard?
Well, when it came up to the share screen, there was a QR code in the corner, and basically it took you right to the App Store, whether it was Android or iOS. And that's how the guys were able to download the app, just that quick. They just went up. I had to do it. I went up with my work phone, scanned it, it pulled it up, I hit install, and it was seriously that easy.
That's awesome. Now, did you happen to write over top of those shared images while they were up there?
Oh, yeah, we did. I was actually been able to pull up a memo that had a diagram on it on our new ladder truck. And I was able to write over the top of it, snapshot it, save it, and then redo it again. I had guys pull up Google Maps of different buildings in our area. They were able to share their screen right then. They drew over the top of it, and it was just seriously that easy to use.
That's great. And that's that's so exciting to hear. And I cannot wait for you guys to get your permanent display. I know we were in a bit of a transition with the station being built and everything. So we are so excited that you are so excited to be able to have the display.
Yeah, I mean, firemen are gadget guys. I mean, we got some pretty cool toys. I got one of them sitting here behind me.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, but the good thing about it is if I can get my guys excited and want to engage, because nobody wants to sit behind a computer. Like I said, my guys are hands-on. The pandemic protocols have really been strenuous for my guys. They don't get to get out into the public in the open like we have in the past. And that's what we're all used to.
Yeah.
Nowadays, like I said, everything's getting to be more computer-based, and I've had to learn and relearn just technology. But technology, trying to keep up with it seems like a headache in itself sometimes. But when something is easy to use and my guys can understand it, they will engage and they'll be willing to learn. And I just want to be able to create that atmosphere, a learning atmosphere. So like I said, I can't wait till we get ours and we get it installed and we get the other ones. I've already had other area fire chiefs that want to come see our station. They want to see how we're going to have things set up. Hey, I'm a good salesman when I can be, when I have to be. I mean, I don't mind touting y'all's name out there at all, because I mean, I've been in the fire service for 32 years. I've seen fads come and go, but one thing that has not come and gone is technology. It continues to grow. And we have to be able to keep up with that. And so this will allow us to continue to keep up with that technology.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. And we greatly appreciate the fact that you are spreading the love about smart technologies in your area.
Oh yeah, I would love, I mean, firemen are real proud of their houses, especially the stations they build. We want to show off, especially if we have something that another department doesn't have,
Right.
or we were the first in the area to get it. We like our bragging rights. So there'll be many eyes be put on the smart board when it's hung up in our station. So, you know, I'm pretty proud of that I'm not closed-minded enough. And honestly, the whole idea of the whole smart board was my wife is a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
She badmouthed her smart board. I'm like, why don't you use this? She's like, because it doesn't work. And so I was like, well, that would be pretty cool to be able to use in our classroom setting.
Right.
And so I started doing my research, and I came up with y'all. And after speaking with you and getting to meet Jordan, our local rep, and getting hands-on one, like I said, it was a no-brainer for us.
So it sounds like you were able to go back and also help your wife with hers in her classroom too.
Well, I hope so. It's not a smart tech brand, so it's a little bit more difficult to manage, and it's kind of you know, an older generation as well.
Yeah, right.
But
right.
I just want to have, because I know being an educator of adults and sometimes children, because most of my firemen are about the age limit of 13 sometimes. But and being a dad, I know the attention span's not there, especially with the younger generation we're dealing with. So that flash, that pizzazz to get them engaged and to keep them staying engaged, I mean, it could be just a minute or 30 seconds and they're off to something else.
Mm-hmm.
I can keep them engaged, and that keeps me a learning environment where they're willing to learn. So.
And that's great to hear, because I say that all the time. It doesn't matter how old you are, you're a learner. And we all seem to revert back to kindergarten, where we can't pay attention even as an adult.
Absolutely.
Right?
We have so much at our fingertips to distract us.
Yes.
Whether it be a smartphone. I know I've sat in classroom, even at my age, sitting in classrooms or even teaching somebody, hey, I saw a video the other day that showed that exact thing, same thing you're talking about, Chief. Well, here, let me see. Or, you know, I'm trying to put the display up, but I got to exit out of this program to pull this up. If they have the team app, they go, here, let me show it to you. You know, probably my next question, is it appropriate? They can just shoot up that YouTube video, and there it is right there in front of us.
Yes.
And that's how we used it during the demo.
That's awesome.
It was that easy.
And that, like I said, that is great to hear. That is the whole thing that Smart Technologies wants to be able to do, is say, yes, we are easy to use, right? You guys had a brief demonstration, you know, from me. And when I do the demos, right, I am showing you how it works and doing all the bells and whistles, because I do it all the time. And then you get it in front of you, you go, oh my gosh, what did she say? But you guys had a quick 5-minute, and you were off and running to the races, and you were utilizing it. Yeah.
I mean, after that 1-hour demo we did with you and your team, and I remembered a lot of the things you were talking about, but then when Jordan showed up with the board and briefly, I'm like, hey, she told me we could share a screen. He goes, okay, click here. Look, here's a QR code. He goes, let me see your phone. I went up, scanned it, downloaded the app. And next thing you know, everybody else is up at the board scanning the QR code, and they were loading it, and we were off to the races. It was that easy.
That's great. Talk through those emergency operations centers, right? Because I've seen different ones throughout different communities. I mean, some of them are really big, and you may have like a large kind of LCD wall that's got multiple different displays, but yet 1 or 2 smart boards throughout there that is doing just that. The smart boards where we're marking up the content, and then we're sending it to a different display, and we can watch it. I mean, that's a great way to be able to utilize it.
And honestly, that's how we're going to do ours. Our smart board will be first and foremost the biggest screen on our board, and then we'll have shared screens to each side of it, as well as 3 on other walls. And we can take it, and we've already been talked to our IT department. We know that not only can we share that screen, but we can take this screen, put it up over there,
Yeah.
and then continue working with the
Yeah.
smart board, or continuing getting up-to-date weather information or emergency operation stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, our police department, they were honestly like, hey, I want to hurry up and get this because we want to be the first in our area to get it. We're going to make the sheriff's department so jealous, because when we bring in their SWAT team, we're just like, yeah, here, this is how we're going to do it. We're not going to be printing off papers, passing it out to everybody in the room. Everybody's going to see the same information.
Yeah. And that's the key. That's the key of getting the information out collectively at the same time to everybody, that everybody understands it. Well, Chief Stiltz, I want to thank you so much for your time today and talking with me and talking about the technology. I love your passion. I love your enthusiasm. I just wish I wasn't all the way in Florida, but definitely if I get out to Princeton, Texas, you are the first person on my list that I am going to come visit.
You're welcome. You're welcome anytime. We'll fix your lunch, fix your dinner, get you some good Texas barbecue in you. Okay, I got to ask you, Jen, who is the guitarist behind you? Is that Prince? Or
that is Prince. That is my homage.
I knew I was right.
Yep. Okay. That is my homage.
Okay.
Well, thank you again. Thank you so much.